There we go.
Yeah, my name's Tom Burnett. I live approximately, the way the crow flies, about 5 miles from Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm connected to Pisgah National Forest, which is in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, which is the Appalachian Mountains. It is the oldest mountain chain in the world. It's older than the Andes, the Rockies, the Adirondacks, any mountain chain in the world. So if there is an unknown species here, something that hadn't been discovered yet, this is the place for it. And I'm going to try to make a long story as brief as I can. It's kind of hard to do. But in 1991, I was walking a timber boundary on the family's property, and I got ran off the property by, I heard tremendous running that came up to an oak tree, and I heard running on 2 adjacent hills, and I began to get pelted with small rocks and berries. I looked up. I was sitting in a squatted down position like this, and I looked up to see where the rock throwing was coming from, and I saw a head about this wide. There was probably about 6 inches between the eyes, and the eyes were black. I couldn't see any pupils, it was just black. But I stared at the creature. It appeared to be, it looked like an ape type creature. It didn't look human, it looked more ape. Again, I looked at it for about 45 seconds. All I could come up with, I was frightened to death. All I could come up with is, okay, I'm going to leave now. And I turned my back to the creature and walked home as slowly and as calmly as I could, which was something that was real hard to do. Over the course of the next 10 years, I ran infrared monitors and left small amounts of food and trying to get a picture of these animals or creatures, whatever you want to call them. I did a tremendous amount of research. I read every book I could on the subject, but there's very little information out there. But based on the research that I did, I believe the creature to be Gigantopithecus, which is believed to be prehistoric ape that lived about 1 million, 2 million years ago. If you'll bring the camera, I've been lucky enough to photograph the creatures, which, as far as I know, no other researcher in the world has been able to do that except for the Patterson film, which is still not completely authenticated as the real thing, but I believe the Patterson film is real, and I believe there's different types of species of these creatures, just like human beings. You know, just like a black man, a white man, a Chinese, or an Indian. But if you, I'm gonna show you what I believe to be the back. I got this with a trip cam. I've seen these things run. Here is the very long arm. There's his feet. That could be the back. Possibly the back of one of these creatures. I'm not 100% sure. It could be a bear, but based on my experience, I've seen them run. Bears don't run with both of their back feet up in the air, and their arms, his arm is almost all the way back to the back of his feet there. That's one of the pictures. Now, on around 2000, I actually held a baby. I found a baby Sasquatch in the back of my yard, and his feet, I examined it, his feet and his hands are very similar to this. And if you look and do the research on Gigantopithecus, the hands and the feet are exactly the same. I should have kept the baby, but I turned it loose so its mother get it. If you look here, there's a picture of a creature. There's his face, his nose, his eyes, his ears. He's got very big ears. He appears to be holding a staff or a beam in his hand. Here's his hand. The rest of this down here, you can't make anything out. Here's another creature, which I believe to be a Bigfoot. Right here, here's his ears. The elongated snout, the eyes, and the shoulders come all the way over to here and here. And I hope this picks up on the camera so y'all can see some of this. Here's the same picture again. It's kind of blown up. And you can see I took this with a cell phone, that's why it's so distorted. But there's his ears, his eyes, his nose, his mouth, his chin, again his hand. He's holding a beam. They take these large sticks and beat on trees as a warning when human beings are around if they're unfriendly. Here's the creature again, his snout, his eyes, his shoulders. This isn't the best. Is it working? Mm-hmm. Okay. This isn't the best track in the world. Some of them are different. I'm not 100% sure that this is a Bigfoot track, but it could be. I've seen so many different ones. Some of them are strange looking. They've got pads on their feet. This is not a shoe or a boot. I've exchanged food with them, and on several occasions they will disable a frog, and they've disabled this frog. They tore part of his upper leg or whatever you want to call it. They'll disable a frog. They left this frog for me alive. It was alive when I got there, and it can't move because it's in pain. I know this looks cruel and crazy, but they were leaving me these frogs as gifts because I was leaving them food. And I always refused the frog, and it would disappear a few hours later. Now, they found out that I like feathers, so they leave me feathers. Here's a hawk's feather. These are turkey. I'm not sure what this one is, but I know these are turkey feathers. And they left me a whole big clump of them. And I've probably got at least 100 feathers that they've left me. So they are intelligent creatures, and if you approach them with gentleness and kindness, if you've got a good attitude when you're in the forest. And I had a group come in here from California. They were a bunch of macho types. They were carrying guns, and I didn't realize what they were all about. And on that particular weekend, the creatures rolled logs down the hills. They made a tremendous amount of noise here, and the guys left a while, and they even trashed their tents. So what I've done, one of the things that I've done, like I said, I've got a book that I wrote, and there are some pictures in here of the creatures that I've taken. And I did, like I said, I did research for about 10 years before I even wrote this book. And you can buy this book on Amazon.com. It's Amazon.com, and the name of it's Nature's Secret Agents. And it's not much money at all. I mean, it's less than 10 bucks. Yeah, you're a gentle type person. You're not one of these macho types that are carrying guns. We have a campground here. You can come, and I will take you on a guided hike in the mountain. But don't come with the wrong attitude. Don't come in here, don't bring any guns. If you're one of these macho type guys that are out to capture this thing, I don't want you here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I want people with a good attitude, people who want to be in touch with nature, people who want to dig down and reach down and find their spiritual self. That's the kind of people that I want here. And we'll do guided hikes. We're not going to charge you an arm and a leg, but we want people who are looking for some answers to some of the mysteries in life. That's the kind of people we're looking for. And if you're interested in coming and taking a hike, and you can bring your video cameras, you can bring your cameras, but anything other than that and a good attitude, that's all we want. And again, you can email me at tomburnett@hotmail.com. and that's TOMBURNETTE@hotmail.com. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Anything else? But and when you can come for like 3 days at a time and 2 nights. And we've got a cabin here you can stay in, and I've got roughly 12 campsites here. But
no cars, 4-wheel drive trucks.
Well, they might have to have them to get in.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get here, because you got to go through a creek. So 4-wheel drive would be good, but you'll have to park your car down in this area, or I've got a field here, and you'll have to walk to your campsite. But again, y'all can contact me at tomburnett@hotmail.com. And if you want to see some pictures of the creature, order my book. It's Nature's Secret Agents.